Greetings, Algo artisans. Bitcoin test all-time high today. I did have to exit my Ethereum trade at a nice profit, and we're going to review the Near protocol and trade plan, and we're going to get into it right now. All right, so super exciting day today. Now, I did say in the morning show, in the live show, that I thought that Bitcoin would see its all-time high today, and arguably it did, but I don't want to call it. It wasn't a convincing breakout, and if you watch last Friday's show, I will go ahead and link to that. I did say there's the possibility of a market maker crush where price could go up to all-time high and possibly come down. We're looking at some points in history here. This is the all-time high from 2021 right here, and then here's the all-time high that was tested today. Now, I guarantee you on some exchanges, the all-time high was broken, but it just, at this point, I'm not going to go there. But I'm going to zoom in as you're seeing right now. We're going to see how close it really came. Binance futures price really is pretty much the same price. I mean, I have zoomed in very close. Definitely an all-time high test. I mean, we touched the all-time high today. And like I said, I guarantee you some exchanges saw an all-time high. But what we're going to show you now is the reaction of price to that all-time high. And it's something I talked about on that video last Friday that I linked to a moment ago. And we're going to look at the 5-minute chart. And price was steadily pushing up, going back over the weekend, and, you know, just a nice solid move up. And there was a test of the high, a rejection, and then another test. Now, this rejection of this test was pretty violent. It was a strong trajectory up, about 45-degree angle, hard rejection, which is expectable, another move up, which is a little steeper than 45, and then just a really super vertical dump. Now, it doesn't mean the price is going to continue down necessarily, but this is a double top. I can almost guarantee you on maybe the 3-hour, we'll take a look. That's a double top. Bitcoin is definitely prone to testing all-time highs and getting rejected. And of course, that video last Friday explains why some market makers might want to push for the all-time highs and get a lot of people in and bull trap them. So in the meantime, let's take a look at what might happen to price. Okay, this is the daily chart. Okay, so this is the daily chart, and you can see the rejection so far is pretty strong. The algorithms on the higher time frame are still bullish, but I am seeing something in the algos that say we could see a rejection at this time. And like we talked about just the other day, we're looking at some liquidity down in the lower $50,000 range. And typically at the halving, there is a rejection. There tends to be a pullback. However, like we talked about, there are not a lot of data points to try to create a thesis based on, well, I should say technically 3, but really 2 data points. It's not a very strong thesis. There's not a lot of evidence to say Bitcoin is always going to pull back at the halving, which the halving is coming up. And already price has more or less grabbed liquidity from this low 60,000 area. It was a very quick grab. Could simply be that price just continues up from here. Very, very possible. I am of the opinion that whatever pullbacks we do see will probably be fast. I think that the market is hyper bullish. Really, we could probably see something like this, and what I just did could happen way more quickly than what I just drew. I mean, it could simply just snap upwards. It might not even touch down here again. It might just go straight up from here. This could easily happen with Bitcoin. However, if price does head down, if there's profit taking, if a few things happen, then price could easily also head down to the low 50 range. And at this point, the moves that have happened in recent history are very strong moves. And the only thing we can really depend on at this point is price action until the technical market unfolds after what is basically a small market shock with that rejection. So we're going to wait and see. Now let's take a look at Ethereum. Okay, so we're looking at the Ethereum chart. I did get out of this trade. Now, this trade actually could easily go up to targets, right? Such a violent rejection. Fortunately, I waited for price to head back up, and I was able to exit this trade at better than a 1-to-1 profit, meaning that I risked, let's just pretend it was $1,000, then I made about $1,050, something small, better than my actual risk, which is ideal. However, not losing a trade is also ideal. And when you have such a strong market shock, at least the way that I do things, I tend to go ahead, exit until I can make heads or tails of what's going on. So I did exit this trade. I entered this trade yesterday. Yeah, at the peak, this trade was at a 237% profit. So I did have my stop at entry, so price could have stopped out. Just the same, that is the end of the Ethereum trade. Now, I want to take a look at the Near protocol chart first, and then we'll talk a little bit about Near. So Near looks like it's going to break out, and this was a humongous coin in the last bull run. Now, Near does have some structure that we can look at if there is a breakout. There is this bit of structure here at about $5.30 $6.30, another at about $6.10. And then we do have some other structure above that I think would be better defined as kind of a range. So I'm going to mark it out that way. So that I think is the range to be concerned with if price were to break above basically this $6.10. $6.10 has a lot of price action in recent and older history if we look at it. So I would definitely be wary of that $6.10 level. But if I were simply buying and holding, which I'm actually going to pick up a bag of NEAR, I think. And again, not investment advice. Do your own research. We don't give investment advice. But I think NEAR is a great protocol. And I do believe that if the bull market continues, everything remains stable, if there's no recession or anything like that, I think price will break above 530, very likely above 610, might meet some trouble around 740. But if the bull market is in full effect, then I do expect price to actually make it past $13 pretty decently. Again, this is all dependent on what happens in the future, like I just said, with traditional finance, crypto in general. But this is, really, that's like a 300% move from the current spot. And I do believe that NEAR will breach its all-time high, or at least approach that. So that could be an easy ×5. And I think it's just a stable move. And let me show you why. So here is a coin market cap NEAR protocol, right? And just look at some tokenomics here. It's at $4.40 now. Market cap is about $4.5 billion. It's got a decent market cap. 10% of it is being traded on the 24-hour period. So some pretty decent volume. Your circulating supply and total supply are pretty similar. So there's not necessarily a whole lot of coins out there that can create a problem. This has been around for a while, so it's a pretty stable coin. And if we go to the actual description of this coin, okay, NEAR protocol is a layer 1 blockchain that was designed as a community-run cloud computing platform. And that eliminates some of the limitations that have been bogging competing blockchains, such as low transaction speeds, low throughput, and poor interoperability. This provides the ideal environment for dApps and creates a developer and user-friendly platform. For instance, NEAR uses human-readable account names, unlike the cryptographic wallet address common to Ethereum. NEAR also introduces unique solutions to scaling problems and has its own consensus mechanism called Doomslug. Great name. Being built by the NEAR Collective, obviously we're looking at a very community-focused coin, and I do like the idea of community-focused. There have been similar concepts recently in the tokens we've been talking about. There's, for one, Caspa is a community token. In fact, it was a free coin. They just created the coin, no ICO, no seed rounds or anything like that. It was just released into the wild. And so NEAR in and of itself, I'm not sure if there was an ICO, not sure if there was any kind of, crowdfunding or, anything like that. I think this might have just been a free coin. I'll have to look into that. This is pretty much a self-contained coin. And one thing to know about it is actually we're going to go over and take a brief look at a video from Altcoin Daily. And it's while he's recapping the Real Vision Gathering of 2024. It's been going on the last several days. And he has Invest Answers on. And Invest Answers, it has an X channel. I have a link to both. Invest Answers X channel, and Altcoin Daily's video that we're going to look at. And they do describe why NEAR, at least they show how NEAR has a massive percentage of all of the Bitcoin blockchain activity. We're talking about an even share with some of the other major chains. So that's really unique. It's a community-driven coin that on that blockchain has about as much activity as the other major chains as well. And here is the video.
This chart signifies daily active users as of 2 days ago. 5 chains have nearly 80% of all the active users.
So I'll go ahead and also put here the graphic that shows that came from Invest Answers X. With all of that activity and with as robust as this has been, I am very interested in NEAR. I think I will pick up a bag of it because something that's community ran that seems to be doing really well, withstanding that last bear market and very stable price. And again, it really was very strong last bull run. I think that's something I'm very interested in. So we'll do a little bit more research on NEAR, but just by the activity and its history, I'm going to go ahead and get some. Again, not investment advice. Do your own research. Come over to algofactory.tech if you want to learn how we actually create our own trading method, and we teach you how to create your own trading method so that you can, if you're successful, extract money out of the market on a regular basis. It is very simple to do. It's not terribly easy because it requires discipline and hard work, but it is relatively simple to do. We hope to see you over there. Remember, trade your job, upgrade your life. We'll catch you on the next one.